Welcome back into SportsLine on News Channel 5 Plus. I'm Jonathan Hutton, and our guest this hour, talking Titans with me, the executive producer and game day host of the Titans Radio Network, Rhett Bryan, joins me. Rhett, we just saw you down the street. We work every day together.
Yes.
We took advantage of this opportunity, right?
And I appreciate the invitation. This is quite interesting how all this works.
Well, we're going to kick back and just talk
different
Titans,
from what we do.
Talk Titans, which is what we do on a daily basis.
Yep.
And we would love your phone calls. Phone lines are open throughout the hour at 615-737-7767. Titans now at 1-2 after the 35-33 loss to Indianapolis yesterday, where I'm standing there sideline, you're up in the booth. They trail 14-10 at the half, and then come out in the third quarter after dominating the second quarter. Come out in the third quarter and dominate Indy. They take a 27-14 lead with about 10 minutes to go in the game. They punt the ball back to the Colts. They get the ball on the 2-yard line, and I'm thinking, man, they're gonna snap this losing streak to Indy. It didn't happen because of Andrew Luck and 21 points in the fourth quarter, but were you like me? Were you in disbelief as much as I was?
I was. However, I think the pivotal part of that game goes back to, you said they spotted them 14 points. It came back 14-10 at halftime. And you're right. They dominated clock in the second and third quarters. I think it's 9 minutes, 35 seconds time of possession in the second quarter, over 12 and a half minutes in third quarter. But that the pick that Zach Brown had returned 45 yards. He ran into the back of
the end zone
Derek Morgan. Derek Morgan's like, what are you doing?
I know.
But they convert a 4th and 1 right there, so they have 3 shots at the goal line. Doesn't happen, so Suckup kicks a 21-yard chip shot field goal, and they go up 27-14 right there instead of a possibility of going up 31-14. And in the back of my mind, I'm going, gosh, I hope this doesn't come back to haunt them. And unfortunately, it kind of did.
Well, it did, because Ken Wisdom says, of course, we want to score every time we reach the red zone. And the Titans have been good at that so far this season through 3 games. But in that moment, they pick up a 4th and 1 with Austin Fowler. You know, they got the tough yards. And then 2 of the next 3 plays, they lost yardage on carries and ended up having to kick the field goal.
Right.
That's where the tide turned.
It really is. It really is. And you talking about their red zone efficiency. We've been looking at stats that the league puts out weekly, and after 3 weeks, they're at 76% touchdown ratio in the red zone, and the 4th in the league inside the 20-yard line right now with a 92.3 scoring ratio, 10 touchdowns, 2 field goals. And that's the one thing I think is noticeably different 3 games in versus 3 games in 2014.
Talking Titans this hour on News Channel 5 Plus. Our phone lines are open at 615-737-7767. Gene will lead us off in just a moment. Titans sit at 1-2 going into the bye week. Not a big fan of the week 4 bye for any team, really. But the Patriots and Titans draw that this year.
Yes.
They get a chance, Rhett, to get Jason McCourty back healthy. He should be able to go.
Chance Warmack at right guard.
Sammy Hill. So you like the fact that you're able to heal up some. But I would argue some of those guys, especially McCourty, would have a chance to play if they played a week 4 game. So
yes, I think he was getting closer. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think, how does the week 4 bye benefit this team? And to me, it leaves them with a long 13-week stretch.
Yeah, you got 13 in a row. 4 out of the last 8 are division opponents, which most of that's been backloaded with the way they've kind of replaced things over the years. 6 out of the last 10 are on the road. And I guess the silver lining is that we're all creatures of habit, and 12 of the last 13 are Sunday noon kicks. And there's something to be said for that. Now, if they were to get on a winning streak, flexing, the schedule flex starts this coming week. So there's a chance they could get flexed to a better time. But it's an interesting remaining 13 games, no doubt about it.
And you can check out the Titans games each Sunday right here on News Channel 5. So I'm looking at the upcoming schedule. They get Buffalo coming in red hot Buffalo Bills team. Titans had a great chance to be 2-1 and sit atop the division when you look at Jacksonville losing, Houston picking up their first win, and a loss to Indy yesterday would have meant the 0-3 Colts, which we're not used to seeing.
No.
Now they sit at 1-2. The entire division is 1-2. So if you want to see or come up with a silver lining, that's it. There's plenty of football to be played.
Absolutely there.
But there was a huge opportunity yesterday for Tennessee.
I think Mike Keith said it best as the game came to a close, as we were about to sign off of in-game coverage and go to post-game coverage. He said the Titans may very well have saved the Colts season, because you read the pundits that are in Indianapolis. There was one gentleman that writes for the Indianapolis Star that said this could very well be a dumpster fire if they don't come out of this with the win, because there's apparently a disconnect between the head coach and the general manager, and the head coach, Chuck Pagano, declined to sign a one-year extension back in the spring, and it could be a lot of changes afoot in Indianapolis in 2016.
It's a crazy story there.
It really is.
You had 3 straight seasons of going to the playoffs between the GM and head coach, and the stories that come out, you just shake your head and think, is that really what's going on?
Yeah.
But the way they responded yesterday, you're right, they could have saved their season. 615-737-7767. Let's go to the phones to lead us off. Gene is on line 1. Gene, welcome into SportsLine. How are you tonight?
I'm doing very well. How you doing?
Great.
Well, I'm just calling to make a comment. You know, every year it's the same old story. Excuses, excuses, excuses. These guys make good money. They get money. They make money to go out there and play. I don't care about this rebuilding and all that. The money that these guys make and the money that people pay for these PSAOs and stuff, these guys need to play and win some games. The season is just now starting. Are we going to go through the same thing we've been going through year after year after year? I don't buy that rebuilding stuff. Go out there and play and win the games.
Rhett,
that's my comment.
Rhett, I hear from callers like Gene on a daily basis on the Midday 180 that they're ready to win.
Sure.
This organization is ready to win, and if you want to compare this year to the start of this year to last year, I think there are a lot of positives to point to.
Oh, without a doubt. I like Gene's spunk. She's spirited.
Yeah, but the roster, veterans on defense.
Yes.
If they're going to have success this year, it's going to be a defensive football team that runs the football well. That's why you saw them call the run plays in the trenches that Wisenhunt with yesterday. But everything lies with Marcus Mariota, and there's nothing but positives there. We're just going into week 4 here at a 1-2 start with a rookie quarterback. I think if you're looking for that silver lining, Gene doesn't want to talk about rebuilding, but if you're looking for things to work on as the season progresses, the Titans, well, they're ahead of where they were at this time last year.
They certainly are. And let me speak, Gene, on this. We have to broadcast these games, and we've seen a lot of tough ones. 2014 was one of the roughest seasons that we have been through in a long time, and we want them to win too, because everybody has fun, and we have a lot more fun doing our ball games broadcast-wise. But you're right. The big difference, I know 1-2 doesn't look great right now, but 1-2 right now versus 1-2 in 2014 has one major difference. They have a franchise quarterback in Marcus Mariota, and that's nothing against Jake Locker, who I loved and was a fantastic player for this organization, but could not stay healthy and on the field. I'm afraid that yesterday's outcome would have been more like a 43-10 lashing and possible Jake Locker injury, or heaven forbid some other skilled position player goes down. It was a whole lot different, and I'm not a moral victory person, but I think that was the big difference from last year to this. This league is a quarterback league. You know that. And there are teams that either are the haves and the have-nots. Tennessee Titans are now in the haves. Now they have to get some more supporting cast around him, and they have to go find ways to win ball games like they did yesterday.
That's right. 615-737-7767, our number. Rhett Bryan from the Titans Radio Network in studio with us here on SportsLine, News Channel 5+. Stay with us.